The real test is not whether you avoid this failure, because you won't. It's whether you let it harden or shame you into inaction, or whether you learn from it, whether you choose to persevere. Barack Obama. DZ Tribe, Josh Thomas, I'm so glad to have you here. Just so you know, this particular podcast is brought to you by Unbreakable Teams, but you already probably know that. There's only like 5 people that listen to this podcast anyway, and you've heard me say it a million times. But what we do is we fix broken systems for entrepreneurs so that they can go farther, faster. And so if you are looking to get past your barriers this year and you're an entrepreneur, go to unbreakableteams.com to learn more. Once again, that's unbreakableteams.com. I want to talk to you about something really important. You see, I have convinced myself for my entire life of certain things. And these are words that I use. They don't necessarily have any basis in reality. But your brain is listening to the words you choose to use to describe yourself and other people. I believe I did another episode about that at some point in the past. That's not what I want to talk about today. But the fact remains, when you say things out loud, your brain is listening. If you want success, you must speak success. If you speak failure, you will fail. If you say, I'm afraid of heights, you'll be afraid of heights. If you say, I'm not the type of person that travels, you won't be the type of person that travels. If you say, I am a successful entrepreneur, you will become a successful entrepreneur. You know why? Do you know why that happens? There's a lot of explanations, but there's one really simple one. One really simple one that you may not have even thought of before. And it's ego. Your ego is constantly protecting you. It's constantly creating a world around you where you are the king. And the king is infallible. If I say I'm afraid of heights, I will create a reality where I am afraid of heights. If I say I am a successful business person, I will create a reality where I'm a successful business person. If I say I'm a crappy dad, I will create a reality where I'm a crappy dad and I will live in it. And I will not let it change. Well, it's not that I won't let it change. My ego won't let it change unless I can overcome my ego. So I mentioned earlier, I'm afraid of heights. Ever since I was a kid, I have been terrified of heights. Get me up on a ladder that's like 8 feet and I'm like, ooh, put me on top of a roof. I could never be a roofer. Okay, I am terrified of heights. I have gone paragliding, by the way, 2 times. Horrific experience. I took some pictures to document the fact that I did it, but it was just the worst thing ever. Also, I have like a physical reaction to heights, okay? Like a physical reaction in multiple ways. Number one, I get this really, really intense vertigo where I'm looking out at the vastness of everything that's like far away and the ground is far away and there's like mountains off in the distance and I'm just like, oh, it's just the immenseness of everything just overwhelms me and I kind of like start losing my balance and I can't really stand up straight or think straight. And then I have this other like weird problem. Sorry, ladies, to share this, just to be a little bit, I'll be as clinical as possible. But basically, like my prostate like cramps up on me, and there's just like all this pain that happens right in that kind of in the groin area. It's the weirdest thing. It's just like it's almost like the boys are jumping up back into the body to protect themselves in case I fall. They're like, well, I ain't dying if this dumbass falls off of this thing. We're going to live on to like protect the next generation or something, even though I had a vasectomy. So it's like, that's really pointless, dude. But anyway, so I've been terrified of heights physically and mentally and emotionally for my entire life. And I have told myself I am terrified of heights and I believed it. But I started thinking about it. If I look past the ego of having to be right about that, what is there to be afraid of with heights? What are you really afraid of? I suppose if I get high enough, then I'm going to be in an area of the earth with a lack of oxygen, and I could asphyxiate and die from, hypoxia, I think it's what it's called. Somebody correct me if I used the wrong word there. But I'm not really afraid of heights because I have gone paragliding twice, and it actually was a really crazy experience. And we did like the flips, and I saw mountains, and it was just a huge adrenaline rush. I did the parasailing one time, like on the lake with a boat. That was cool, terrifying, but it wasn't the heights that I was scared of. You know what I was scared of? I was scared of the ground. And when you put that in perspective, it's kind of like, well, what do you mean, dude? You're scared of the ground. Well, who's going to be scared of the ground? Well, if I'm 2,000 feet up in the air, you bet your ass I'm scared of the ground because that thing is fatal. When I'm up high, the ground is fatal, dude. Like if I'm going to fall, it's not the heights that's going to kill me. It's the impact with the ground. It's like a couple of blades of grass can literally kill me. It's just a pile of dirt. But we take that for granted when we're standing on it.